shaking, Warfighter Nation? Ron here with Isaiah 6:8 and Warfighter Ranch. And today we're bringing you Street Sermon 24, and it's called, Are You a Free Agent? Some people say that free agency killed the game. I don't know. But no matter what professional sport immediately pops into your mind, the scenario is usually pretty similar, and you have your own sense of perspective on that. We know that a free agent is an individual whose contract's expired, as they are no longer any other further obligation, and the creators of the contract are satisfied that no service has gone unrendered. It does sound a little like freedom. 2 Corinthians 3:17 tells us, Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. These individuals are in pretty high demand because they have a true gift in one form or another, and they can provide a service of considerable value. With that comes a cost as well. The free agent undoubtedly gets many offers in hopes of obtaining the one. Depending on the individual's desires, goals, or ambitions, they often have ample choices. LeBron James, for example, after becoming a free agent, commanded an impressive 4-year, $154 million contract from the Lakers. It seemed to be a good fit for him at the moment, and time will certainly tell. We'll come back to that in just a minute. Now, in this state of freedom, tucked away under all the excitement, all the glamour, all the glitz, lies a layer of uncertainty. What if? What now? You know what I mean? Through the greatest of hopes, there lies still a lot of uncertainty. 1 Peter 4:8 tells us, And above all things have fervent charity amongst yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. I'm quite sure I've heard that somewhere down the line. This, often enough, can leave us with a feeling of being somewhat dislocated, in a place of vulnerability and seemingly without roots. It seems like a lot more of a dotted line than a solid line, and feelings of relational, spiritual, or emotional ambiguity can be the result. Now back to those choices. Situations like these often leave us led by a purpose. The wrong one. And we achieve a state of imbalance against the nature of what God created us to be, and we tend to flex more towards our own situationally based feelings than our own best interests. We all fall prey to it. But with regard to your own free agency, in this context, the offers that you get are religions. For those of you who haven't already heard it before, it's probably a good time to bring out my ice cream analogy. Here it goes. Religion is like ice cream. There's 31 flavors or more. Each one is merely a mechanism by which we practice our faith. Our faith is the common denominator in each of these offers, though common practices either differ or similar between them. I visited churches, chapels, and synagogues all over the world. But the Army engineer-built plywood chapels downrange were my favorite. They really were. Muddy floors, blood, sweat, and tear-stained uniforms from all branches. Even our allies rested on 2x4 wooden benches that served as pews. Thank God for the engineers and the Seabees. Engineers, essayons. Seabees, we build, we fight. The scent of war, sawdust, and true unity and faith all filled the air, right alongside the gunpowder lingering in the air from a fresh inbound mortar attack. A chaplain who suffered a shrapnel injury stands leaning on a makeshift pulpit to deliver with enthusiasm God's message of hope, mercy, and forgiveness. You could tangibly feel God's presence in that small wooden chapel. You could see it on every warfighter's face in that whole place. And as the evening desert winds made those trusses squeak as they settled, The only wind rushing through the corners and crevices in those moments were our hearts windswept with the Holy Spirit together. There wasn't a religion in sight. Actually, there were about 20, give or take. And none of that even mattered. What did matter was that we got to share some pretty intense moments of our lives joined in faith with one another. When we were all each other had, we found our collective comfort in faith. That's it. Period. It was pure. It was real. It was exactly what it was created by God to be. A moment of simple and humble shared faith. We prayed for our battles. We prayed for our families back home, thanking the good Lord that our families would never have to bear this terrible burden, yet one that was an honor to share with each other. We came together from all over this great land and wound up together in those decisive moments of history. We lived, fought, died, and prayed together. It was as natural as breathing. Proverbs 27:17 tells us, as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. Prayer is the tool or the mechanism that God gave us to communicate with Him, should we choose to. And although prayer is common to all religions, no defined in-the-box package religion is necessary in order to pray. And that's the beauty of our true freedom that Christ gave us. Once I stopped listening to the shouting of the many regarding how they all thought I should worship God, I finally decided it was time to become a free agent and simply practice my faith. Direct from my heart to God's ear. And that's why we operate the way we do here at Warfighter Ranch. It really is as simple as that. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and the Bible. Why? Because that's all of it. Are you ready to be a free agent? Join us here at Warfighter Ranch and experience a new freedom that no amount of money, no DD-214 could ever provide. Joshua 1:9 tells us, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." I've seen it. Our nation was founded on freedom, the freedom to worship how we wish. So how are you showing your thanks to this, the greatest gift we have, to your Creator? Let's hear it in the comments below. We're waiting for you. See you at the ranch. God bless.